Alright guys, this is Rab from LDS Clashers. I got our first war recap video coming at you today. This is obviously not our first war, but this is the first time we've done a war recap video, and I think this is something we might like. So I'm going back. We can go ahead and we check out our um, war log here. You can see that we've been doing pretty well lately. And that's because of the wonderful people that we have playing here in LDS Clashers. It hasn't always been that way. Scroll back just 3 months, and you can see that we've come a really long ways. So yeah, so good job, guys. We're on a pretty good winning streak here. We won the last 4, 6 before that, and we're on a tough war right now. But I think we're geared up and ready for it. But let's go ahead and let's look at this war here against LDS Clashers versus Shift Solve. View the map here, kind of see what's happened. You can tell by the stars and the war results there that this clan really kind of gave up. They didn't attack several of our upper bases here. We had them put away fairly early. And so we actually could have scored probably a couple more stars, but towards the end we started looking for tough attacks to practice on and so on. So let's go ahead and see what we did to their bases over here. We one-starred their top 2 Town Hall 10s. Trying to get a little bit better on that. We got 3 stars on 2 of their Town Hall 9s, and then all of the Town Hall 8s were 3-starred as well, and on down. So let's go ahead and we'll look at it. I got 4 attacks here that I want to share with you. The first one was actually a dirty hit, an attack towards the end of the war on a base that had already been 3-starred. Again, like I said, we had this war in the bag. Normally you wouldn't see Yoshi going up on the war map like he did here, but this was just an epic attack. Yoshi here showing us how it's done with dragons. And so what's going to happen here is Yoshi's going to go ahead and drop his Barbarian King and 2 dragons on this corner and 2 dragons on this corner. And this is how it's done with dragons. So he goes ahead and drops those dragons on those corners and lets them work. And Yoshi knows from experience here that those dragons are probably going to die. But that's okay. Their main job is to get this Tesla right here and that builder hut right there. If he can do that, that breaks the funnel. So then the rest of his dragons will let go right here, and there'll be a straight shot right into this base. And so we can watch that happen. Okay, so he knows as soon as that Tesla's gone, now here they come. In come the rest of the dragons here. Straight up through the center. They have nowhere to go except towards that town hall. So he's got, what, 7 dragons there. They're starting to get hit by those air defenses, but that's okay because he's also got 2 heals and a rage, and 7 dragons under rage is pretty dang impressive, as you'll see right here. And there's an awful lot of defense in there, those 3 air defenses, and you saw a black bomb go up and a red bomb, and here comes another black bomb. And so those dragons get wrecked pretty hardcore. There were 7 that went in and 2 that come out. But really, look at the value that he got on that kill squad right there. That center is wrecked. Only 2 dragons came out of that, but what's left to hurt them? Nothing. So those dragons can go ahead and just wreck the rest of this base. As dragons do. So good attack there by Yoshi. 3-star attack going up, but testing his mettle against a tougher base towards the end of war after we had it in the bag. Good job, Yoshi. Alright, the next attack I've got here is an attack by Jill on their number 10. Okay, now Jill's going to open up with a giant. Now this is a cleanup attack, so somebody had attacked this base before, so Jill knew where some of the traps were, and so she's going to take advantage of that. If you watch this first drop here, she's going to drop a giant to wander in and get the lure out of the clan castle, but he also gets a giant bomb there. Of course, then she's going to do the whole double poison burn off here, And of course, you'll notice she staggers those poisons. Poison spells do not stack. And so if you want to kill a dragon in that clan castle, you got to drop one and wait for it to do its magic for a little while, and then drop the second poison spell. And so that's what Jill does there. So let's go ahead and speed that up and just let that dragon get burned off. And it's gone. So the next thing she does, she drops her Barbarian King down here and does a king swap. So king for king. Good deal there. Then the pigs come in, and she drops an Asian wall. That's basically just means that you just scatter the pigs along the one side of the base here. And so those pigs come in, and you'll notice she anticipates the heals. A little late on that first one, there was a bomb that went off. She lost some pigs to that one. The second heal is right on the money. Anticipated, she knew that bomb was there from the earlier attack, and so it heals up her pigs there. She fat fingers the third heal, misses out on that. And because of that first bomb and that missed heal drop there, she's going to end up with very few pigs at the end. But look at this. She's already got her kill squad coming in on this backside, or cleanup crew coming in on this backside. So when the pigs finally finish up this base, yeah, they're going to be weak on force. Not going to have very many pigs left for cleanup, but the cleanup's already done. There's nothing left but the town hall. So we'll go ahead and we'll see those pigs come through here, taking out that cannon, coming through to that archer tower. They're going to finish up on that last cannon, turn around and kill the skeletons behind them, and then it's lights out for this base. So we'll go ahead and speed up there for the cleanup. Nice 3-star attack, cleanup attack there by Jill. Alright, the next attack I got for us is another attack that was done later in the war for this individual, Keith Chief. Not a cleanup attack, I'm sorry, I was mistaken about that. That's why it was earlier in the war. You notice Keith's army composition here. He's got a typical go wipe coming into this, and then the quad quakes. Now, what I like about Keith Chief's attack here, and what I want to highlight, is what he does with our lure. And we've talked about this a little bit. I've even done a video on it. Keith's going to drop in one Hog Rider to pull that clan castle troops out, and he brings them down here to this corner. Let him come down here. And instead of doing the double poison spell like we typically can do, he wants those quad quakes, and so he's going to use those. And instead of doing the double poison, he does the archer wizard trick. He pulls the dragon over, and then you'll notice, look at where he drops these archers. Right up underneath that dragon. Okay? Now that's very important. Watch what happens here. He's going to drop those archers there, and then just a few wizards. Now remember, wizards have a shorter range than the archers. And so if we would have dropped the archers back here, the archers would have been shooting, and the wizards would have had to run up closer. But because he dropped the archers right underneath that dragon, the dragon is focused in on those archers, and those wizards can do work on that dragon. And so instead of losing a whole bunch of wizards, Keith loses 3 archers. 3 archers, 5 wizards. You take your pick, I guess. You know, it was a pretty good deal there. The only thing that I would do different here that he kind of, I think would be kind of a goof up here, is his next phase of his attack. He's going to go ahead and open up the base with his quad quake, which is excellent. This base gets opened wide up, right? But you see down here, his wizards are now engaging this Barbarian King. And instead of doing that, I think I would have dropped my golems so that the Barbarian King focused on them instead of all those wizards. So saved the wizards from the dragon, but they still got taken out anyway. And those golems could have taken that attention. Other than that, this is a typical go wipe on a wide open base now because of that quad quake. So that placement was pretty awesome too. He looked at that base and said, hey, I can get everything opened up if I just drop that quad quake in that one spot. And it's lights out. So here come the big tanks. Pika's coming in. The Golem was already in there. I think he's got a bigger Pika in the clan castle. Yep, here it comes. And they're just going to work through this base. Drops a rage there to help speed things up. The Golem's rushing in there in front of the defenses, keeping the wizards alive. and that Pikas are on that Town Hall. We're seeing a Pika under rage. That's crazy. They already do so much damage. Boost that up, boost their speed up, and they're wrecking balls. Heal spell there drops in kind of an odd spot. He gets that golem, but that's okay there. He's still out in front. But most of those other troops kind of ran out of it. Bust through that wall. Here comes the Barbarian King up around the side. And there's not much left but the Crying on this base. Watch Keef Chief finish up here. At this point, it's really only clean up the cannons. The only thing that's left that can really hurt anything, but that Barbarian King and that Pika out in front of those Wizards, it's just going to be havoc. So great job there on Keef Chief. Nice attack. Let's see, the last attack that I have, thanks Wiz, or Slick from the Wizards and Archer, is coming at you from Job, our number 16. They're taking on number 16. I think Job was our 16 in this war too, yep. So here we go. Got another dragon attack for us. Now, dragons are fun, and you saw Yoshi's attack there with dragons. That's textbook dragon material right there from Yoshi. But Job does something cool here that I like. If you notice, in this base, he's got one air defense up here, and a blower next to the Town Hall facing this direction, facing these two air defenses. And Job sees that and says, well, those air defenses are pretty spread out, and if I drop my dragons in one spot kind of like Yoshi did, they're just going to get taken out, picked off one at a time from a distance. And so how can I focus in on those air defenses all at once, especially with that blower facing them? Job does something cool here, so check this out. He's going to start off with a Barbarian King to sort of take off the corners of this base so that the dragons can focus in on where they need to. But then look, right there. You saw that? He dropped his clan castle right next to this with Hog Riders, and he's going to drop a heal spell. He already has dropped it. You can't see it coming in yet. But it's going to heal those Hog Riders, and they're going to get this Archer Tower, this air defense, this mortar, and come clear in and get this blower. What that does for him then is allows him to bring his dragons from this side and focus in and get them on top of these last two air defenses really quick. And so that was some awesome thinking there from Job. Let's watch this take place here. You see that heal spell on a dragon there to kind of help out, takes out that cannon so that the Hog Riders aren't really facing anything else at this point. They come into that mortar, take out the mortar, scare up a Tesla, pull out the Clan Castle lore, which is fine, it doesn't really matter with dragons, and takes out that blower, and their job's done. So now he's working on this other side here with the Barbarian King and the dragon sort of rounding off this base so that they can come in right through here and get on these air defenses much more quickly. Okay, so now he's going to string out his dragons here in just a minute. That one's taking some damage. He's working on the one on the other side of the poison, kind of a little bit distracted at this point, making sure that it's down. Letting this first one do a little bit of work so that the rest come right in on top of those air defenses, and that's what we see happening here. So here they come. 2 heals left in the bag for this. So 2 heal spells left to go ahead and keep those dragons up as they're going into those air defenses. This guy made a mistake here. He's got this open space here, which meant that the dragons are going to hit this air defense, and hit that mine that was there. And the next thing that's left, right in line with them, is that air defense. So it pulled them right into the air defense. Alright, drops that heal spell, keeps them up, and at this point, without those air defenses, the only thing that can hurt them really are those Teslas and that Archer Tower on the other side, and of course those Teslas are going to go down in a breath or two from those dragons. 2 puffs and it's over. So at this point, we're just watching dragons come across the base, kind of as dragons do. So burn them up, kind of speed things up a little bit, put it on ×2 here as they work through this high hit HP buildings, finishing up this raid. Now, funneling dragons in like that, if you don't clean up the corners, you can see obviously he's going to have to come back for these buildings over here in the corners, but that's okay. With the extra 30 seconds like they added nowadays, with 4 dragons left, they're going to split here, go up to the builder's hut and down to the other builder's hut. We got that extra time, so it's not usually a big problem anymore. I have seen a few raids end with not getting it done in time, but for the most part, it's over now. So, great job, Job. Nice attack there. Had several people getting 6 stars in this war, so congratulations on that. Doing us proud, getting us the loot that we deserve here. So pat you guys on the back. Great war there against Shift Solve. Kind of look and see what we got going on here with this war, current war. Just started here, LDS clashes against a Chinese clan. They're a level 7 clan, and they've got some pretty impressive bases up top, so it's looking to be maybe a tougher war. But again, I think that we're starting to get that 3-star mindset in us now, and we know how to get it done. So, until next time, guys.